Okay, so without further ado, we'll start the briefing. So thank you guys for coming down today to the EXCO briefing. Later on, I'll be sharing about the different roles in the upcoming EXCO team, as well as the timeline. So a recap of what we have done in the past. Right, we have gone to Desmund for a joint workshop on confidentiality clauses. We did a joint workshop with Desmund and Hwa Chong and SMU CCJC. So from the feedback, we found that uh, the SMU CCJC workshop was quite meaningful and you guys learned a lot. So expanding on that, we're gonna be working with NUS Criminal Club as well to bring about a similar workshop. So actually, you guys did indicate in the form that apparently the mock trial is a hot topic, quite interesting. And from the responses, I found that there's a wide range of topics that you guys are interested in. So that's great. You guys, the NUS team is looking into them, and hopefully the new EXCO will be able to work with them and bring something to the club that everyone will be able to enjoy and learn from. All right. So upcoming symposium. It will be quite a large one. We're getting schools from all over Singapore, like RV, SA, NUS High. We've got like a small number. We're thinking of trying to invite like other schools like EJ maybe, uh, yeah, and the like. So those students will be attending and listening to the sharing. So it said here that there's only two groups that will be representing I because we realized that the expert panel likes to will probably want to give quite some feedback. So the thing is, after every group presentation, the expert panel will be giving a few questions to the presenters, and from what we can tell, at least the experts themselves have shared and acknowledged that lawyers tend to like to talk a lot. So we have decided to cut it short to two groups representing RI, two groups from Hutch, and one group from Dunman. So yeah, see you on the 14th of May. So EXCO positions. We'll be having this model whereby there will be a president, and director of admin, director of content creation, and director of publicity. So for content creation, it's more like the academics sort of work. So there will be two people helping the team there. There'll be a director and an assistant director. Right. So there will be some tasks for you guys to complete to assess your suitability due on the 21st April. If not wrong, it should be Sunday. And then the interview will take place in that week, in the following week, 22nd and 26th April. And then there will be an online speech. We'll have a Zoom, and then the candidates maybe give a few 1-2 minute speech on why they should run for a certain role, and then we'll go into voting. Yeah. Okay, so let's go into the role of the president. Right. So these are the tasks that you'll be in charge of. So it's to ensure that everyone is doing their work, everything is going smoothly, and definitely stepping in to help out because sometimes not everybody will be available at some crunch times. Yeah. So president, that's one of the jobs. Another thing is to keep close contact with our partners and our alumni. So the current Daman, Hutch presidents, we keep close contacts with, and if possible, we can look into expanding at our reach and working with other schools. Yeah, especially because for the symposium, we are planning to have it running for every year for the foreseeable future. So we should be able to maybe expand this. So actually, it seems like a bit of an MOE project. At least for the symposium, like we are getting all the schools quite interesting. Yeah. Then what we'll do is I'll pass the president all our contacts that we have, our alumni. We have quite a strong network lah, like alumni, current law students, ex lawyers, current lawyers, profs, and the like lah. So you can tap into that to uh organize your events. So just some like guidelines. So try to have at least like one minor event since exams NSG period. So this can be something like the workshops with the NUS, the seminars. Um, right. For the seminars, you can try and work with our partner JCs. That's why we try and expand our network, because the way RL works is that um unfortunately, for the foreseeable future, the school leaders perhaps are not very willing to maybe because of the administrative restrictions. So they require a teacher in charge whenever we want to book a venue. And the reason they gave that they are not able to facilitate our seminars is that there is a shortage of teachers. But hopefully that will change. It will be a great time to try and get this to become a real student interest group that is recognized by the school. If I'm not wrong, I've got some rumors that this is starting to happen this year. So we can check with the teachers on that, like the HOD of CCA, Deborah Cole, Miss Deborah Cole, yeah. Right, so then for the major events, every year we should expect to see the LawSOP symposium. So if this year runs smoothly, I think we should absolutely try and see its return for the next year and the year after that. And who knows, perhaps after after that, maybe 5 years down the road, we come back as law students to maybe mentor our future juniors. Yeah, I think I can see this going as a long-term project. Right, so the task. So the task is for you guys to come up with something that is new. Because quite frankly, our team has run out of ideas. Yeah, so it's up on you guys to brainstorm something new to conduct it. And then not only that, you have to involve the entire EXCO team. So you need to detail how you're gonna get the entire team on board, how you get the members on board, um, just to have a feeling of how you guys manage the team. Yes. Okay, the director of admin. So the admin role, it's mostly to send out emails, send out WhatsApp messages, like, oh, there's an announcement to sign up for the NUS CJC workshop. Then you do up the forms, then you record the data, member data, attendance, event registration, spreadsheets into a nice shared drive. Um, Personally, I'm not a very good organizer of such stuff. I'm not a very neat person, but our current admin is, so he has been quite doing quite a good job in sorting the files. Right. So the task, this was what he raised. It was Isaac. So he wanted you guys to submit a write-up of past admin experience with an attached portfolio of past work. Yes, so write-up of 700 words, limited to 700 words. So next one, hypothetical scenario, we decided to invite Mr. Davinder Singh. Maybe not now, maybe possibly in the future, I don't know. He's quite busy with the current case he has, high profile case. So craft an email to all RLS members. Then you are free to choose the day, time, event, nature of the event, and then you craft a simple WhatsApp message. Very simple. Then this one is a response to an email that we got from an organization a couple of months ago. So just write an email to respond to it and do a write-up for your justification, 100 to 150 words. So this Excel roles will be sent to you guys later as well as the slides and the recording for today's meeting. So, okay, what's this? Yes, separate your tasks into 3 documents. If this is a note of caution. So if you have no prior experience, we don't encourage you guys to apply for this role, because you have to pick up a lot of the skills, like Excel spreadsheet and whatnot, which might take a lot of time according to him. So maybe the inverse is true, that whereby if you have experience in it, it probably wouldn't be that taxing on time. Yeah. Anyway, director for publicity. So this will be the guy or girl who will be taking the pictures during the events and then posting it on the Instagram and LinkedIn accounts, right? So there will be infographics and event teasers. So these ones I'll share about them later. It will be by the content creation team. So the director of publicity, all he or she needs to do is to caption the post, and then you reply to IGDM's LinkedIn comments. Yeah. For the website, yeah. So on the website, it's like a little events page. So you just need to just click plus like ads and then add in like one picture and the short write-up of the event. And also replying to messages and inquiries. Okay, I think there's a bit of confusion here. This one will be under the admin role. So no, not this, not this. Okay, task. So this similar scenario, Mr. Davinder saying, then you have to design an Instagram post. So the Instagram post on event teasers, something like that, event teasers and like new events, that will be done by the publicity team. Infographics, that means is on sharing on legal knowledge, that will be done by the content creation team. So stuff like this, one post, 1:1 ratio, caption should exceed 250 words, then just link to a design, caption, justification. All right. For the content creation side, there will be 2 people working on it. So after the symposium, right, we're planning to have a follow-up because you guys have painstakingly taken so much time to write your papers, right? It will uh, it will be put to good use here when we are able to get every group that has written the paper to create an informatic graphic for posting. So not only will your articles be published on the website, it will also be posted on Instagram to give the public an idea of what you guys have done and the points that and arguments that you guys would like to make. So that'll be done in the Instagram post. Okay, so that will be from June to October. So um after October, right, we'll need to assign new groups because from June to October we'll probably do every fortnight, right? Every fortnight. So then we have 9 groups, and then we do some math, and it turns out to be June to October. So post October, or when all groups have been exhausted, we assign them to new groups, 2 people each, and then they write a little short write-up on a rotating basis. So law students, we can get them to maybe give some feedback, maybe one round of feedback, and then they correct the feedback, they go and resolve the feedback and then the comments, and then we can get them up the website. Then yeah, create an infographic posting on Instagram. So that means that every 2 weeks we should be able to see something new on the Instagram page. So redesign the Instagram post on Dominion VFox. The link will be sent as well to along with the task. I'll be attaching a link right here later on. And you can alternatively propose a redesign of the RLS website. If you feel that it's a bit dull, there could be some areas of improvement. Personally, I believe that the website definitely can have lots of improvement because the people who created it, includes me, don't have much website experience. So it was more like a mishmash, learn on the job kind of a thing. So yeah. All right. So I like this famous quote from a very popular show, Suits. So what did Harvey Specter say? Work until you no longer have to introduce yourself. So that's what the kind of quality that I want to see our future EXCO have. Okay, thank you. Now, any questions? You may now post your questions on the Q&A. If you can't access the Q&A, you can just type in the chat. Okay, wow, we don't have any questions for today. That means I did an excellent job at sharing the EXCO roles, I guess. Okay, then I'll end the call at 8:50 if there are no more questions. So a quick recap on the timeline, 21st April. So you have a couple of days, how many days? 4 days. 4 days to complete the tasks. And then we'll run the interviews. We'll send out a form, get the dates that you guys are available. Yeah. Yes, okay. Q&A. How many people will get past the interview? Will the interview be face-to-face or online? The interview will be conducted probably online if we have a lot of people applying. If there's a bit less, then we might be able to do it face-to-face. How many people will get past the interview? This one, we can't give an exact number. Is there a director and assistant director for all the director roles? There will only be a director and assistant director role for the content curation, because we find that too many cooks spoil the broth. Too many cooks spoil the broth. So a very focused and hopefully well-knit EXCO team will be able to sail the boat, sail the ship smoothly. How does the voting system work? Initially, I was thinking we could have a voting system such that everyone's vote will count as one. So then all the members will come in and then they vote as one. So the year fives will be the ones voting. And then I was thinking, perhaps the support of the core team might be quite important as well. So, in fact, even more important, because a lot of times you'll be working within the team. So perhaps we are thinking maybe a vote of two votes for a person that is running for EXCO. So the specifics of the voting system is not confirmed yet. I'll discuss with the team later on. Yes, the questions are coming in. Excellent. Is everyone voting for the roles of each EXCO? Yeah, answered earlier. Will the director of publicity do graphic design as well? Publicity do graphic design as well. Yes. Let's refer back to the doc. Okay, so the content creation team is very obviously they're gonna do the graphics design for sort of more technical work. So the legalistic parts, the more academic side of it, if you want to call it that. So yes, there are overlaps because graphic design takes quite some time, so we want to split the work So for the director of publicity, what they will do is that they will be creating the graphics for the official events. For example, the symposium that will be falling under the job scope of the director of publicity. Let's refer to the Instagram page of our RLS. So, for example, the mooting workshop, it will be done by the director of publicity. For example, the foundational concepts of habeas corpus, that will be done by the director of content creation, right? So the law of thoughts, done by the director of publicity. So something like that. So for content creation team, the main job is to review the submitted graphics, right? And so that means they will have the groups themselves will be making the graphics, and then the content creation team will take a look and say, okay, maybe you could improve this part, maybe the spacing not great. So then they'll do some minor tweaks, minor adjustments, and then they'll have a Canva file. So Canva file, we send it to the publicity team. So then the publicity team receives the file, and then they take it up to Instagram, take it up to LinkedIn, and then they make the captions. So publicity seems like the main guy to control the IG and the LinkedIn part. So that's the person writing the captions and all that. Yeah. So these job scopes are more like guidelines. You guys don't have to follow it, but it will be great if you are able to do so. Do you only run for one role? We are letting you guys be able to run as many roles as you want, but that might be a detriment because you will have to do a lot of tasks. But of course, and also it might reflect that you have some uncertainty as to what you want to choose to do. But of course, if you find that you are highly competent in all three tasks, all four roles, then yeah, sure, by all means, you may apply for them. But ultimately, when it comes to voting, we'll only allow you guys to vote for one or at most two roles. Will the interviews be a group setting or individual? It will be individual. Done. Done. And answered. Okay. Will you accept extensions for the submissions? Of course, like all submissions, as long as you have a valid enough reason, we'll give an extension. So maybe we'll put you on a later interview slot. Okay, answered. All right. If there are, okay, more question. If there are no more questions, then I'll end it at 9 p.m. Is there a rough estimate of how many people will get past the interviews? As mentioned earlier, we cannot give a rough estimate. And of course, it also depends on how many people apply, so it'll be a case-by-case basis. Interviews be offered to every applicant? Yes, it will be. It will be. It's highly likely that we will, unless the entirety of RLS membership decides to apply, then we might have a bit less of a chance to offer it to everyone. But other than that, yeah, we'll interview everybody. It's just that for the voting part, then we'll cut down and limit the number of people who will be making their pitch. what content will the interview cover? We will probably be asking you about yourself, why you want to join, just general questions like that to see your vision, and then we'll ask about your tasks. So I have some questions pertaining to your tasks. How many interviewers will there be? We'll try and get at least 2 interviewers. 2, if not 3. Yes. Just like your member interview. Can everyone apply for EXCO position? This is a good question. I think everyone can apply even if they have an EXCO position, even though they have a CCA council EXCO, right? But we will factor this into our decision, that's for sure. Perhaps we will try and ask how you'll be able to cope and maybe prove it in some way that you have done so in the past. Yeah, how you have balanced your time. Also depends on what role you apply, right? Because not every role has that equal of a time commitment. Poop, answered. Okay, if there are no other questions, then we will end the meeting here today. Thank you so much for coming, and you may leave the room. Bye bye.